either Merry Christmas again, it's one of these days that you don't really have anything to do, that you can visit people, hang around a little bit, recover from your wine drinking the day before. It's amazing because I have several dinners, I think a total of 40 people or something like that, and I'm the only one that seems to be worried about climate change and energy. You know, I can point out to them that the weather outside that they're talking about because they want to have winter tires and all that stuff is because of climate change. It's that's quite well explained. It's a jet stream change in Europe, and it makes everything colder, and it basically messes up the whole planet with places that haven't seen as much snowfall since the 1820s or something like that. But there's no awareness there, and recently I found out that that's basically because there has been a concerted propaganda effort, and basically a very effective approach to basically disqualifying any nerd coming up with worrying information. You basically say that the nerd doesn't have any proof, and that he needs to show the proof, and that there's still doubt, and then in the public mind that will go away because it's just too big of a gamble to move to that. And it's because that whole game is going on because there are people that just don't want to worry about tomorrow. They want to live today. So let's say the hedonists, the ones that have always been cursed in the religious scripts that always have been seen as let's say Sodom and Gomorrah style people that just don't want to care about tomorrow, that just want to live today and enjoy it. That mentality is destroying the world. And the problem is, of course, that it's a very attractive mentality. Even I am very happy to sit at a Christmas dinner with duck or lamb or what it was, and nice red wine, and talk about nonsense and have fun. You know, everybody likes that. The problem only is that these days we destroy the planet doing that, and like 200 years ago the same thing were going on, not for as much people as today, but you know, that had some continuity. That's not the case today. So what do you do about it? I really don't know, and I feel like people should become rude to people that are obviously the decision maker group that doesn't want to adapt to the reality, that one doesn't want to come down. So if you meet somebody that is active in the Trinity, in the industry, energy companies, or the banking system, just be rude, be very impolite to them. Don't serve them, don't give them good coffee, don't help them out, because they're a small percentage of the population. They have completely corrupted the government. That is now abundantly clear. That like Congress people have fundraisers right before important votes, so they can hoard in some more money from opposite sides of probably an arbitrary decision that then creates a monopoly for one of them. So it's like, it's your country, it's your life, and if you want to live a little bit in luxury for longer, then it's time to act up. And I think the best way is to simply make it impossible for people that are only about enjoying themselves and hiding themselves in tropical islands and castles and nice cars and aspiring to that, to teach them that doesn't have to be enjoyable, and that you can make it difficult for them to enjoy. It's like a boycott of hedonism, and it's a hard sell. I think most people won't be very attracted to the idea of having to give up pleasure. Like, let's say, if somebody asks me, do you want to take cold showers every day from now on? I probably don't want to, and I'm not doing that. But on the other hand, you know, if it's about just shifting the balance towards people that see opportunity in the problem, because of course the climate problem creates a huge opportunity to get rid of this trinity, of this dominance of the energy companies, banks and industries. It's a fantastic opportunity to become locally autonomous, prosperous, and then you think, okay, well, are there examples of that? Yes, there are. Switzerland, Austria, Germany. These countries were pretty much isolated between the mountains that they're in, and they were very wealthy, and people were very healthy and very prosperous. And they didn't have much more than wood, but they grew their own trees, and that was the fuel that they used in say in the Middle Ages until the beginning of the 19th or 20th century. So it's not about becoming backward and stupid. It's not also not becoming less luxurious. It's just doing it differently, doing it less, let's say, in a less suicidal manner. I really drank too much of my own wine yesterday. But anyway, so I hope that that resonates with people, and I'm writing pieces on my own Dutch website and my Climate Babe website and all the other sites, because it is very urgent. There's a guy commenting on an article in Nature that is falsely positive about the future, that says, well, the North Pole will grow back after 2030. Of course, that's a long way away, so you can say everything about that. And the polar bears will probably survive, but he doesn't mention that you have to cut carbon emissions by 70% today if you want to achieve that goal. You know, there's many ways to debunk science, and there's also simple ways to discredit science. And one of them is, of course, you know, if there's a scientific report that looks credible, then you can debunk it by saying, well, is it really true, and do you have proof? Because that's a nonsense question. It's not about proof in science, it's about a method. You cannot show the method after you have applied it. It's like the example I made about counting cookies in a jar. If you have 20 people agree to count cookies in a jar, and they agree on a method, and they lay the cookies out on the table, and they all find it's 10 cookies, so they're completely sure about it, and then they put the cookies back into the jar, you can say, well, prove to me that there's 10 cookies in the jar. Then you have to apply the same method again, which is not something you can show, you can only do it. And that's the first attack. And the second attack is, of course, to have stupid assumptions, like, well, if we all cut carbon emissions today by 100%, then we probably be alright, a scientific report says. And then you publish the news, we'll probably be alright. Yes, that's because people that didn't read the report didn't see that it has a ridiculous assumption that is just not true, and it's not going to happen. And same with this polar bear story. Boycott people that are creating the problem. I would say boycott the media. Make sure that, you know, if you can be indecent or impolite to people that are completely high on the hedonist thing, please do so. Just be unhelpful to them. They have to learn that life is, you know, because now today reality of most Americans is not very pleasurable, and also of Europeans it's becoming less and less attractive, and that should be a shared experience, because then you start looking for a solution. You start looking for the fact that, well, you're spending 20 times as much energy per person in your country as you use actually as a person. So if I know the energy to keep me alive, that could keep alive 20 people. That's basically what it all boils down to. And you could have carbon neutral houses, so that don't need any heating. That was true 100 years ago. Why don't they all, aren't they all carbon neutral? Well, there's a gas industry that has gas installers that want to keep their job. Well, screw them. They can start installing solar heaters and all that stuff. The gas industry won't let them. You know, because that's where the price reductions and the perks come from. It's just that the only way to break that is to become really rude to them. To do this like en masse, everybody. If you meet a banker, just don't say hello. If you meet an industrialist of like a pharmaceutical company, just don't say hello. Don't serve them coffee or serve them bad cold coffee. You know, give them crappy food. Do all the stuff that you need to do to make their life unpleasurable, because they believe that justifies what they're doing. It doesn't. You know, it doesn't. Just like the fact that you get a glass of wine at the end of the day is no reason to be a mass murderer. Anyway, there are some things happening on the gold front, by the way. One is that Barrick seems to be kicked out of Pakistan. So it might be that the whole invasion of Pakistan, or let's say the payoff towards Pakistan, was also motivated by the ability to go mine the gold there. And Pakistan is not happy with that. And that, of course, is also significant because it means that really the leverage of the US there is waning. They have a lot of gold, and I believe they're going to... the guy of the company that was mining it made a ridiculous statement. Well, we want to preserve the resources for future generations. You know, I wish they would say that about rainforests or about the oceans. Like, well, we can catch tuna today, but we want to preserve the tuna for future generations. I think the issue is that the mining is too expensive and dangerous. Oil prices is also going up, and there's lots of heavy machinery involved in mining, and maybe they just can't find the employees to work in Pakistan. It's too dangerous. At the same time, there's a Canadian company in Suriname, and it's basically destroying the jungle there. It's digging out the gold. We have a leader there, Mr. Bouterse, who is now re-elected, but he came to power with a coup where he assassinated a number of people. And he's just a drug dealer. And he rules Suriname, and he gives parties every day, and he's a very nice guy. Just in case I go to Suriname one of these days. But he allows a Canadian company to mine gold in the Canadian jungle, or in the Suriname jungle, and it's quite a rich field for gold. And so this Canadian company is complaining that there are rogue gold diggers in the territory, and Suriname government will not do anything about it, and they themselves are also not allowed to do anything about it. And then they say, well, yes, these if we dig for gold, we make nice terraces with our dynamite and our big trucks, and these diggers, they just dig a hole and then it collapses on them, and that's unsafe. So that's why it's unsafe. That's why they shouldn't be doing it. Okay, when did mining companies start worrying about the safety of illegal mines? And one of these illegal miners says, well, I can't get a job with this Canadian mining company, so I'm not, I have no choice, I need to eat. Of course, he does have a choice, he can find another job instead of digging for gold, but anyway. It's more or less of a hobby in Suriname. I spoke to people that actually did that. It's quite a dark video, I'm sorry about that. But why doesn't Suriname kick these people out of Suriname, the Canadians? You know, why would you let them take the gold away as if that's a high-tech industry? It's not. It's like a truck and a digging machine, some diesel, and some way to flush the gold out. And you're done. I think Bouterse can do that. So it's really a mystery to me that they allow that to happen. Anyway, I hope you enjoy your Christmas, and I'll make another video shortly. I put anyway, there's too much to say about the agoracentric site, and it's going to change a lot. So thanks for listening.